You are my sunshine in the rain.
All right. The National Democratic Movement is still very much alive and well and will be fielding a few candidates in the upcoming general election. They unveiled their manifesto recently and they say they represent what the real change is. But will the NDM make any impact whatsoever, or are they seen as just a waste of time? We have given the two main parties, the JLP and PNP, their fair share of coverage. It is only fair as a balanced and fair show, to borrow a slogan from one of the more popular networks, that we give them too an opportunity to air their vision. This morning we welcome on the Politics Time Michael Williams, the chairman of the NDM, and Terence Lindo, candidate for Northeast St. Andrew. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, let's start straight off with your thoughts on the debate last night. What happened, Michael?
Worse than disappointing. Not the Gleaner's headline is not accurate. I am totally astonished and surprised that Portia Simpson in Parliament for 30-odd years and Holness in Parliament for 15 years and does not understand the Westminster system that they are practicing. The question from the diaspora man was never answered. They just don't understand. And then to hear that we're going to have a queen for Jamaica, when the people of Jamaica, the NDM has been saying it for 16 years, that the people must be sovereign. We don't want a more queen. That is pre-independence talk, right? We don't want to get a British queen and then put in a Jamaican queen. That is why David Corr said, that you can't give the people justiciable rights because sovereignty must be, Parliament must be sovereign. We say end of that. That is not on. The people of Jamaica is sovereign, right? Not those people in Parliament. 60 of them don't make one.
Was it the same observation you had, Terence?
The problem that they had last night is that they just became politicians. All they did is waffle. They didn't answer any questions. Everything just went into nothing. And that is exactly what they're going to do for the next 5 years, if they, well, one of them will be returned more than likely, because unless we get the 24 independents who are running between the 7 NDMers, the 10 from Marcus Garvey Party, 1 from the JAM, and the other 6 independents who are running, if all 24 of them were to get elected, then we would have an independent government. And that is the strength that we could really use.
Or a coalition?
Well, it would be some kind of coalition, right?
Make me understand the exclusion of the NDM, and why is it that, and do you feel slighted in any way, the fact that you were not even considered to be a part of this debate?
More than slighted. We were ignored. The NDM policies, as a matter of fact, in yesterday's newspaper, they were saying that almost 70% of the people of this country support one of the key policies of the NDM, which is fixed date for elections, right? We have been talking about fixed date for elections. We have been talking about term limits, right? So we can get rid of those redundant people when they get elected after 2 terms. We get rid of them because the term limit give us that opportunity so we can bring in fresh people into the system. All of those persons in the top leadership of the PNP and half of the people in the top leadership of the JLP need to go and raise chicken.
Go fishing.
Do you believe that then these debates really make much of a difference to the general outlook? 1, 2, 3. The debates make much of a difference, you think?
No. These debates were disappointing. The first debate was the best one. The other 2 just went downhill. And this one here really hit bottom, right? The questioners, I have a little problem with some of the questions. But the answers were, listen, any university professor marking that paper, the answers, all of them got 0. None of them focused on the issues that they were asked about. I saw Andrew Holness answering a question, right? When the young lady asked him about work experience, it is a simple answer. Even if the government, which is the largest employer, cannot pay these people, we can give them an opportunity to get job experience, right? By bringing them into the ministries, by bringing them into industries. A lot of industries will give people opportunities to learn at very low salary. And the Students' Loan Bureau could facilitate just by doing an extension to the student loan program. These people don't think outside the box. They are so structured in their tribal politics that they cannot think outside the box. I am totally disappointed in what took place last night. And I tell you the reason for it. The National Debates Commission excluded the NDM, and had we been there, we would have lifted the level of the debate to the level that the Jamaican people wanted, way above the heads of those two.
Before we go to the first break, my concern is, and I'm sure it is the concern of many people too, that after so many years of presenting yourselves as a viable alternative, a real third party, people are still questioning the relevance of the National Democratic Movement. What does that mean? And isn't it a major concern of yours too?
It is a major concern, it is. But let me tell you something. The people of this country are not questioning the relevance in terms of our policies. They are questioning our relevance in terms of winning an election. We can't win an election when the PNP is spending 500 million estimated, the JLP is spending 500 million estimated, and we are spending 50,000. Right? The corporate Jamaica, right? Let the PNP, under their watch, tell us how many waivers they gave to business people in exchange for donations. Let the JLP say how many waivers they gave to business people in exchange for donations. Let everything come out. You heard Portia Simpson last night? It is rubbish about people being victimized. Nobody can victimize Grace Kennedy or Butch Stewart. Them is the biggest donors to the two parties. What do they get for it? We don't know, because everything is covered in secrecy. Since everybody is talking about victimization, the only way to expose victimization is everything open in the public, so that when Grace Kennedy gets victimized by a party, we all know.
We have some more things we need to talk about, and we have to talk about some of the plans you have for your constituency. We're looking just about at the relevance of the NDM at the moment. And it's a real pity that we have to go back to that, because people are still asking, what is the National Democratic Movement about? After, you know, establishing yourself for so long, we're still asking this kind of question, Terence.
The truth really is, what does Jamaica want? Does Jamaica want to stay with that old system that hasn't done anything with them over the last 60 years? Or do they want to move forward? Right now you can see what's going on in the whole rest of the world. In the Middle East, they have this thing called the Arab Spring, where people are tired of these old leaders, dragged them out, got rid of them, some guys quit. Is that what they want to happen in this country? The Jamaican people are really tired. I call people on the phone. You know, we have a call center going where we are calling people to tell them about the NDM in my constituency, and people are there. Yet they're ready to hear this thing, and they really want to change. There are lots of people who don't vote, who hate the system, yet they just sit down and they're afraid, because they just don't believe that the rest of the people, because you have a set of people who are just funneled down into this what you call the tribal system, whereby they're paid to vote. I mean, they talk about buying votes. We're not buying votes.
They don't have the money to buy it. They don't have the money to buy the vote. If you had that, if they
really want campaign reform, you know, they should spend as much money as we do. You know, cap it at $100,000 per candidate and see how long they would last.
But one of your, hold on a minute, but one of your more high-profile former candidates was the Prime Minister of this country, Bruce Golding. He left, and as they say, the rest is his history. There are several alleged acts of corruption that they say that he was a part of. And he was part of the NDM.
But not in the NDM. All right, he came out of a nice, clean swimming pool and went into, you know,
the other pool.
But then there probably was more nutrient in the cesspool. Because, I mean, most politicians, or most people, as far as I'm concerned, go into politics to get rich. Not to make no grand contribution to the country or its citizens. It's just to get rich.
I agree with you. But let me say this to you. No politician that goes into a ministry can draw a check. You know that. You agree with that?
Yeah.
So therefore, if they're going to be thief, which we know they are, right? They need assistance. When the easiest way to get rid of that is to suspend or abolish the thing called the Official Secrets Act. Because that is the act that allows a lot of persons in the civil service to do wrong and it is not exposed. Not even the Access to Information Act is stronger than the Official Secrets Act. And we got that with the left hand and then hold on to the Official Secrets Act with the right hand until that is abolished. And one of the major planks of the NDM policy is to abolish that act, because you see how these lights are? These lights are shining, just like how the NDM light is going to shine on these people of this country and get some clean politics into this country.
All right, we have
kakistocracy.
Yes.
You heard that word before?
Yes.
Kakistocracy.
All right.
It's a Greek word that means government of the worst persons. That is what we've been having in this country
all right,
for too long a time.
Unfortunately, we have to go, but just quickly tell us quickly your plans for the constituency, if you can, Northeast.
Well, it's about getting communities back to help each other, working. One of the things we need to look at, of course, is the road system. What we do in this constituency, as well as the whole country, is that we constantly rebuild all the roads, not properly engineering them, making sure that there's drainage. Part of the whole process of being an MP is not to put their own money into, but to manage the process, and that is what I believe, that we should manage the process. We have this Constituency Development Fund. When the NDM originally recommended it, it was supposed to be the constituency and the people who live there who help to manage it, not just the MP. That's one of the things we'll do, is try and get back to the whole concept of the people being a part of their own development.
All right, I want to thank you much. I'm afraid that we would have to leave it, Michael. We'll have to invite you again.
Thank you very much.
We'll have to invite you again.
I love your shirt.
We'll have to invite you again. Oh.
Thank you very much.
We'll have to invite you again.
Good
all
to see
right.
you.
All right.